asquerosidad.
Esta belleza es nuestro nuevo petróleo. Es el agua de la calle que estamos recibiendo hoy.
Ahí tiene. El agüita que sale por la tubería.
El agua que sale por las tuberías en Valencia, Estado Carabobo.
Un poco para que vean el color del agua que está saliendo en mi casa. Bienvenidos a la Revolución Bonita.
What's the difference between the 90s and now? In the past, you could quickly shower with running water after work. Nowadays, it takes me to carry 24 containers to fill up just one large container to get water.
This is a new request for a pretty hefty sum, but let's give it a shot. Last week, I approved $2.5 billion to finish the TIE 4 project. Do you have a photo of TIE over there? Here it is. Take a look. It is suggested to our commander, President Hugo Chavez, to approve the allocation of financial resources for the 2011 to 2012 improvement and continuous potable water service plan in the Metropolitan Aqueduct of Caracas for an amount of $1.6 billion.
Here, we experience sporadic water availability. There are times when we can go for up to a week without access to water. During such periods, we rely on rainwater to collect water for cleaning our bathrooms and washing dishes.
In Falcon State, there was an attempt to construct the Bolivarian Aqueduct of Falcon with a budget of over $600 million. Unfortunately, the project failed to deliver even a single drop of water to Falcon State, resulting in a huge impact. The Margarita system was another major investment aimed at enhancing the service quality on Margarita Island. Despite building new pipelines from the Cariaco Strip to Chacapata, the service on Margarita Island remains an absolute disaster. The TIE 4 project in Caracas was initiated but never completed, despite a staggering budget of $1.2 billion. This is just one of many examples of such failed projects. The National Treatment Plant was also a recipient of substantial funds, but unfortunately, clean and potable water remains inaccessible to many people.
According to data from the World Health Organization, a person needs between 50 and 100 liters of water per day to meet their basic needs. But Maria and most Venezuelans don't have access to that.
When I have some money, I pay this young man to help me bring some buckets of water. I have to make it last as much as possible because it's a payment I make with great sacrifice, and sometimes I have to decide between paying for help or buying food.
Currently, more than 80% of the population in Venezuela experiences frequent water interruptions. This situation, coupled with inadequate management of resources, worsens social disparities, with the least privileged individuals being the most susceptible and having limited access to water.
70% of individuals deem the water service as essential. However, despite having access to the pipes, a consistent water supply is not always available when needed. This negative perception of the water service is crucial to assess, as it has been a recurring issue in the Venezuelan Public Service Observatory. Historically, citizens have rated the water service as the poorest of all public services.
The largest hydrographic basin in Venezuela is the Orinoco, covering nearly 1 million square kilometers and 65% of the territory. The Orinoco River is the third largest basin in South America, producing a flow of approximately 33,000 cubic meters per second. This makes it the world's third most voluminous river and one of the most valuable in terms of renewable natural resources. Venezuela boasts over 100 large rivers with basins spanning more than 1,000 square kilometers, such as Caroni, Caura, Apure, Meta, Ventuari, Portuguesa, Santo Domingo, Uribanti, and Chama. Despite this abundance of water sources, the people of Venezuela still suffer from water scarcity.
In the matter of water quality, it must be stated that, as of the present day in Venezuela, potable water needs to be provided to the population. This is an issue that is tremendously harmful to public health. Watersheds have deteriorated, reservoirs have been abandoned, and the water treatment plants are handling water that sometimes arrives with the quality of mud, even foul-smelling water, in poor condition, carrying pathogens and turbidity that must be converted to potable water within minutes.
Experts contend that the water storage crisis in Venezuela is prolonged by the diversion of resources, lack of professionalization, and current state of electrical generation. Let's talk about the first program launched by Nicolas Maduro in 2014 to address water deficiencies in Caracas. The plan involves repairing leaks in the aqueduct distribution network, restoring purification plants, keeping pumping stations in good condition, repairing access roads to reservoirs, rehabilitating wells, implementing sanitation and flood control measures, maintaining reservoirs, and implementing a community service, management, and reactivation program for the country. A total of 953 billion bolivares and 22,825,000 euros were approved, in addition to the 206,270,000,000 bolivares allocated specifically for the parishes of the capital in 2013. These areas are currently experiencing significant service disruptions. These programs still need to be implemented, which is unfortunate as they could have helped alleviate water scarcity in the country and ensure that citizens' right to access water is respected. If we add up the bolivares from the past 9 years, the amount would come to 1,159,770,000, which is equivalent to $50 million. This money could have been used to improve the hydraulic systems and enhance the overall service. According to the Venezuelan Public Services Observatory, this is the reality in the figures. 90% of the Venezuelan population has some problems related to water service. 65.6% view this service negatively. Only 27.2% of people have regular access to potable water, while 9.3% receive water services once per month. Regarding water quality, the study indicates that 60% say the water has some color. 25% say the water has an odor. 18% of people pointed out that the water they receive has taste. Maracaibo, Porlamar, Barcelona, Valencia, and Barquisimeto reported the highest dissatisfaction with the water service.
If you were to ask me today about the cities with the best tap water service in their homes, I would say that San Cristobal is in the lead with 81%, followed by Barinas at 60.7% and Mérida at 51.9%. Ciudad Bolívar is next at 40.4%, and Valencia ranks last with 34.2%. Looking at the other end of the spectrum, those who have given the service a very negative rating. Punto Fijo stands out with only 17.4% satisfaction. Following close behind is Maracaibo with 21.2%, Porlamar with 22.3%, and Barcelona with 31.4%.
Out of every 100 Venezuelans, 80 had access to tap water. Now, that number has risen to 95 out of 100 Venezuelans.
For the 31st of December, we have a goal. We aim to fix 100% of water-related issues and get tap water to 95% of homes. That's water in the house, right from the pipes. We've got to make this happen.
When I have some money, I pay this young man to help me bring some buckets of water.